Persia was anciently a large and noble province, but it is now in great part destroyed by the Tartars. In Persia, there is a city which is called Saba, from whence were the three Magi who came to adore Christ in Bethlehem. And the three are buried in that city in a fair sepulchre, and they are all three interred with their beards and hair. One was called Baldassar, the second Caspar, and the third Melchior. Marco inquired often in that city concerning the three Magi, and nobody could tell him anything about them, except that the three Magi were buried there in ancient times. After 3 days' journey you come to a castle which is called Palasata, which means the castle of the fire worshippers. And it is true that the inhabitants of that castle worship fire. And this is given as the reason. The men of that castle say that anciently 3 kings of that country went to adore a certain king who was newly born, and carried with them 3 offerings, namely gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Gold, that they might know if he were an earthly king; frankincense, that they might know if he were God; and myrrh, that they might know if he were a mortal man. When these Magi were presented to Christ, the youngest of the 3 adored him first, and it appeared to him that Christ was of his stature and age. The middle one came next, and then the eldest, and to each he seemed to be of their own stature and age. Having compared their observations together, they agreed to go all to worship at once, and then he appeared to them all of his true age. When they went away, the infant gave them a closed box, which they carried with them for several days, and then becoming curious to see what he had given them, they opened the box and found in it a stone, which was intended for a sign that they should remain as firm as a stone in the faith they had received from him. When, however, they saw the stone, they marveled, and thinking themselves deluded, they threw the stone into a certain pit, and instantly fire burst forth in the pit. When they saw this, they repented bitterly of what they had done, and taking some of the fire with them, they carried it home. And having placed it in one of their churches, they keep it continually burning, and adore that fire as a god, and make all their sacrifices with it. And if it happen to be extinguished, they go for more to the original fire in the pit where they threw the stone, which is never extinguished, and they take of the other fire. And therefore the people of that country worship fire. Marco was told all this by the people of the country,